In the summer of what was decidedly a year like no other, we decided to undertake a project like no other. For 25 days we visited every single one of Luxembourg's 102 communes. This is our journey. This is the Every Corner Tour. It's the day before and we're busy packing our things for the big departure. And making sure not to forget anything, we're almost ready to set off for our first commune. Colmar-Berg is a small commune 20 kilometers north of the capital, and you'll see that there's more than one symbolic reason why we're starting here.
We're currently at the Goodyear factory. For the symbol that we are getting rolling with the Every Corner Tour, we are at a tyre factory.
And just down the road from the big industrial buildings, you'll find lots of greenery in the charming communal park, where the flowers even have a bit of a royal touch.
How do they smell? They smell good. If she smells like that, she must smell good.
But those flowers certainly aren't the only royalty in town.
So one of the things that makes Colmar-Berg a special commune is that this is where the Grand Duke of Luxembourg has his primary residence. Grand Duke Henri is the monarch of Luxembourg and he lives there, but he's currently not there, he's not at home.
And with Henri seemingly on holiday, we move on to our next commune.
We are now on our way from Colmar-Berg to Commune 2, Schieren. And if you've never heard of Schieren...
Ah yes, Schieren, perhaps not the tourist highlight, but with the youngest mayor and the #1 speeding hotspot in the country, it's not lacking in records.
No. This right there, that's the Château de Bertrange.
Who owns it?
No one. Well, actually... Basically, no one wants it. The lady who had it died, she gave it to the Red Cross. The Red Cross didn't want it, the state doesn't want it, the commune doesn't want it, no one wants it, it's sad.
In Schieren you'll also find this little cosy church square, nicely adorned with a fountain and statues honouring local cultural symbols. But the problem being a tourist in a slightly more residential commune is you'll end up seeing sights when there really aren't any.
What, no, we're not going in someone's garden, Tom.
Not someone's garden, it's like a park.
It's not a
It's a corner park. That's not a park.
That's not to say there's nothing to see though.
Oh, a Roman villa.
This is the archaeology site of Schieren.
We'll leave the archaeologists to their work as we move on to our next stop. Ettelbruck is one of the larger, more dynamic cities in the north, and also one of great historical significance. And our tour of the city starts with a charming pedestrian area where lunch can be enjoyed on the many cafe terraces. Isn't that right, Charles?
Kebab.
In the centre you'll also find the Saint-Sébastien church, but it's the globe on the church square that seems to have piqued our interest.
Oh, there's Luxembourg.
The main site in town though is the General Patton Museum.
This guy must have been important to get his own museum.
That's right, Tom. Patton is the American general whose troops liberated much of Luxembourg during World War II. This museum is all about the local history of that period.
It's very good, there's lots of information there, lots of artifacts.
It's an important part of Luxembourgish history.
Very important figure here in Ettelbruck.
Before setting off, we take a little hike up to the camping in the town heights.
Have a Coke, a cold beer, something cold.
Yeah.
And with our thirst quenched, we're ready for a new commune.
But do you know anything about Erpeldange, Tom?
I don't know anything.
Well, Tom, you're about to find out. Erpeldange is a rural village located upon the Sûre River.
This is the Erpeldange castle. What does this castle now house today, Tom?
It's the mairie.
Looks like a fancy house, don't you think?
Erpeldange is also notable for its picturesque landscapes, animal life, and the smells that go with it.
What does Erpeldange smell like?
Cow shit.
Yes, as you can see, there's a lot of farming going on.
Our visit here is concluded by a view of the village church. Yes, another one of those.
Why would I need to go to church every day?
Before taking our bus to our last stop of the day. Or so we thought.
We took a bus and we thought it was going to Diekirch, but it actually went back to Ettelbruck. Idiots!
Yes, Diekirch, a vibrant city with much cultural and social life, known for its beer and donkeys. And it's at the local camping that we find our accommodation for the night, before heading out for dinner in the city centre, in a restaurant whose logo has definitely caught Charles's eye.
There's no way that these are the same size.
And after this nice meal, it's time to shuttle for the night.
Oh, day 2 is now here. Are you excited to visit some sights, Charles?
Yeah, and the beer.
But before Charles gets drinking, we take to the large Erpeldange Park, where we're hoping to catch a glimpse of the donkeys that have become the town symbol.
Okay, so we're now where the donkeys are meant to be, but as you can see, there are no donkeys. Well, there's that donkey, but that's a different story.
Luckily, it wasn't long before we heard this lovely sound to show us the way.
There!
Yes, it's indeed these lovely and sociable animals that are the Diekirch locals' pride and joy. So much that the traditional rooster upon the town's old church spire was replaced with a donkey in 2013. Our next stop here in Diekirch is the National Museum of Military History, which features an impressive collection illustrating the role of Luxembourg's military through important times.
It's not just Second World War, it's also Korean War, all about the EU as well.
Pretty interesting.
And we conclude the morning with a visit of the town's larger decanal church.
We are now in the town centre of Diekirch, Place de la Libération.
It's junk food though.
The town of Diekirch is also popular due to its brewery, and so we're headed to the beer museum.
That way.
The museum has an expansive collection of historical items and advertising related to the local beer, which has been produced since 1871. It doesn't look like there'll be any tasting today though.
So it's a beer museum, but it's also a car museum. 2 in 1.
A reminder that beer and cars are usually not an advisable combination.
My feet hurt, let's go.
Yes, Tom, our tour of Diekirch complete, we can now move on to a fresh commune. Bourscheid is a large commune with diverse natural landscapes. Forests and fields, valleys and hills, many small villages. Quite a pleasure for the eye.
So we've just arrived in Bourscheid. We are going to walk towards the castle.
It's definitely worth taking pictures of. It's a very scenic, Instagram click, click, click.
So let's go and Instagram click this castle.
Das grüne Tip-Top.
The Bourscheid Castle is a wonder of medieval architecture. First constructed around the year 1000, its strategic position on a cliff above the Sûre River means the imposing fortress was an important one throughout history, but also offers stunning views of the surrounding nature.
Breathtaking. You have a really nice overview of the region.
Gorgeous.
The castle itself offers plenty of interesting places to explore too.
We're currently standing in the chapel.
So that's the dungeon.
This is the Gothical cellar.
It's incredible.
And with the visit of the castle complete, we head back to the village to catch our next bus. Feulen, another rural commune in the north, is our final stop for the day.
There's not a lot to see, but we can make the most out of it.
But before we get exploring, it's time to find our accommodation for the night.
Yeah, we're here.
So you may think, oh, that's a nice looking house. They're going to sleep in there, but no. We're going to sleep here.
No water, no toilets, nothing.
And with our tent set up, we walk down to the village for a well-earned dinner.
So this is the Centre Culturel.
It's the home of social events in this commune.
Yeah.
Feulen may not quite be suited to tourism, but we decided to explore the village nonetheless. And it was more entertaining than you'd expect.
So we're now in front of the town hall, which here is also a baker's.
So you go and tell the mayor what's wrong with the commune, and then you go and get your loaf of bread.
I needed to have some bread.
It's like air freshener. It's gorgeous.
And the village history is just as interesting.
So historically, Feulen belonged to some archbishop. At some point there was an exchange between Feulen and Trier. Luxembourg had to give over Trier, where Feulen was then given to Luxembourg.
So Luxembourg could have had Trier, but they chose this over it.
And we conclude our evening tour with a view of Feulen's fire training centre. After 2 days, we've already visited 7 communes, and many more are waiting. So until next time, stay safe and don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss the next episode.
I think it's good to use hand sanitizer.